It was a chilly, moonless night when my friend Jack called me with an urgent message. "You won't believe what I found," he exclaimed. "An abandoned mansion in the middle of the forest. We have to check it out." Intrigued and filled with a sense of adventure, I quickly rallied a group of friends, and before we knew it, we were piling into a car and heading out into the night. The clock read 1 a.m. as we set out, the darkness of the night surrounding us like a cloak. The road stretched out before us, winding through the silent countryside as we made our way towards the forest where Jack had discovered the abandoned mansion. Excitement and trepidation mingled in the air, the thrill of the unknown beckoning us forward. As we arrived at the edge of the forest, a sense of foreboding settled over us. The trees loomed tall and imposing, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers in the darkness. The air was heavy with the scent of pine and damp earth, the only sound the crunch of gravel beneath the tires as we navigated the narrow road deeper into the forest. And then, there it was, the abandoned mansion, a looming shadow in the night. Its once grand facade was now crumbling and overgrown with vines, the windows boarded up and the doors hanging off their hinges. A shiver ran down my spine as we approached, a sense of unease settling in the pit of my stomach. Jack led the way, his flashlight cutting through the darkness as we made our way inside. The air was thick with dust and decay, the floorboards creaking beneath our feet as we explored the abandoned rooms. We laughed and joked, the thrill of the adventure fueling our courage as we ventured further into the mansion's depths. But then, as we turned a corner, our laughter turned to gasps of horror. Standing before us were a group of dangerous-looking individuals, their faces obscured by shadows and their hands gripping axes with a menacing glint. Fear gripped me as I realized the gravity of the situation. We had stumbled upon something far more sinister than we had anticipated. Panic set in as the group advanced towards us, their eyes cold and calculating. Without a second thought, we turned and ran, our footsteps echoing through the empty halls as we made our escape. Adrenaline coursed through my veins, my heart pounding in my chest as we raced back towards the entrance of the mansion, the sound of our pursuers echoing behind us. We burst through the doors, the cold night air hitting us like a slap in the face. Without looking back, we sprinted towards the car, the engine roaring to life as we piled in and peeled out of the forest, the headlights cutting through the darkness as we raced towards safety. As we drove, I fumbled for my phone, my hands shaking as I dialed the emergency services. I relayed the harrowing events that had unfolded in the abandoned mansion, my voice trembling with fear as I begged for help. The dispatcher assured me that help was on the way, and I clung to the hope that we would escape the danger that lurked in the forest. Minutes felt like hours as we drove, the terror of the night lingering in the air around us. And then, as the flashing lights of the police cars appeared in the distance, a wave of relief washed over me. We had narrowly escaped a fate that could have been much worse, thanks to the quick thinking and intervention of law enforcement. The police arrived at the scene and quickly apprehended the dangerous group of individuals, revealing them to be a drug-dealing gang that operated in the area. Their presence in the abandoned mansion was a closely guarded secret, and they had no intention of being disturbed by curious intruders. As we watched from a safe distance, the gang was taken into custody, their axes confiscated and their reign of terror brought to an end. The abandoned mansion stood silent and still in the darkness, a haunting reminder of the horrors that had unfolded within its walls. And as we drove away from the forest, the events of that night etched into our memories. I knew that we had experienced a brush with danger that would forever change us. The abandoned mansion and the dangerous group of individuals would forever be a cautionary tale, a reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of the unknown.